Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Night podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 15th of June, 2016, and this is episode 197. And I'm going to apologize in advance. I lost my voice over the weekend, and today sounds a zillion times better. But I know it's still very froggy and everything, so I'll do the best I can. We are going to have a break in between recording part of the podcast because Dammy has an appointment. So hopefully stopping midway, I'll be able to drink some tea and refresh it and then finish out the podcast. So we'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. I don't usually have laryngitis, but sometimes I do. Dammy, we had some people who joined the Ravelry group and introduced themselves. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay, Shirley, who is the Baby Lady, 1990, from Virginia. Betsy, who is Betsy Q from Washington. And Amber, who is Devious Angel from Florida.
Welcome. We're very glad to have you. So Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you will get a shout out on our next episode and you will be able to participate in our cows and giveaways.
That's right. Well, we have some yummies from the Indieberry Yarn Crawl to share with you, and some FOs and some TV and some other stuff too. So we probably should get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what's on your needles, Dammy?
I'm still working on my secret elementary socks, even though I wanted them finished for this week. But they are on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and US 2s, 2.75 millimeters. And the yarn is Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering in the St. John's colorway. It's very squishy.
It is very squishy because you're knitting from the outside and inside, right?
Yep.
So how much do you have left to be done with them?
A few more rows in the cup.
Okay. So I bet you'll have them done before next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, anything else on your needles?
No.
Okay.
So what's on your needles?
I have 4 things. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Why don't you tell them what I'm going to show them?
This is your 10-stitch zigzag blanket by Frankie Brown. It's on US 4s, 3.5 millimeters, and it's a lot of yarn.
I finished this one
The spoilers one
from
Pandy's Jewels.
and this new one. This one.
Is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the Harvest Tonal colorway.
So it's oranges and yellows. So I'm working on that. You can put that in there. It's not going to fit in this bag much longer.
The next project is your Super Summer Socks, which are the French Vanilla Cappuccino Socks by her. They're on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and the yarn is the Yarn Sanctuary Sock Blank in the pink, orange, yellow, white colorway. It didn't have colorway names.
I was trying to get this better to where I could show you. So this is the first sock. So here's the sock blank. So it's got, there's some yellow, orange. Yep, so that's fun to knit off of. Let me get another drink of water. And then the next thing is,
These are Noah is 5 socks. The pattern is Tube Socks for Kids by Jane Richmond. They're on US 2s, 2.75 millimeters, and the yarn is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in the North Pole Heather colorway.
so I just measured these before we started recording, and they're 12 inches long. I need to get to 13 and a quarter before the cuff. So these are going to be finished by next week. So I would be working on them while we were recording, but I don't want to, since I'm doing them 2 at a time, I don't want to get them tangled. And then the last thing on the needles
is the stripy pearly pullover. So this is the Pearly Pullover by Kathleen Dames. It's on US 7s, 4.75 millimeter, 4.5 millimeters, and the yarn is Regia World College Color 6 ply in the exam colorway.
So you knit it wrong side out. So you knit it in stockinette, but then you turn it inside out at the end to give it the purled look. So I really like how this self-striping is knitting up. I think last week I had started on the body. Pretty sure.
I don't know.
I have one sleeve done. And then, that's probably what, about 4 inches? It's going faster now that I finished the ribbing. So I'm behind on it though, so I'm going to try to get caught up on it this week. And that's everything that's on my needles right now.
Yep.
So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
2 this week. So tell them what these are.
These are your breathing room socks. The pattern, if you hadn't guessed, is the French Vanilla Cappuccino socks by her. They're on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and the yarn is the Wool Kitchen Pears BFL and Bamboo 4 ply in the Ziggy colorway.
They haven't been blocked yet. They're just on blockers so I could show y'all. So I really like the colors. They're fun. And there's pops pink, so they're totally my color. I did the leg a little bit shorter than I normally do because I have a lot of socks that are really tall recently, so I thought I would try something.
And that got you 232 meters for Stash Dash.
That's right.
This next one is your 24th preemie hat for this year, almost halfway through.
Yep.
This, if you hadn't guessed, is the top-down preemie hat by her. It's on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Crystal Palace Yarn's Mini Mochi in the Intense Rainbow Sock colorway.
So this is the same yarn as last week, but a different segment of it. But I did the same thing again and did the pom-pom first. So we have the blue into the green, and then the green into the orange, and the yellow and orange.
And this got you 25 meters for Stash Dash.
So what is my total for Stash Dash?
4,122.5 meters.
So I'm well over halfway to my 7K goal. So, and that's everything that's off my needles this week. There'll be another preemie hat and hopefully Noah's socks next week. And maybe something else, we'll see. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment.
I guess I'll introduce this segment.
No, I can do it.
Nah.
Go ahead. You have to do it just like I do it.
And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies!
No, you have to sing yummies. Yummies.
Yummies!
And then what do you do?
Yummies are our current favorite
No,
thing.
you have to ask yourself.
I can't ask myself.
Self, what are yummies?
Well, yummies are our current favorite things you like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. I meant to look up something before we started recording and I forgot. I was going to look up to see what the name of that pattern I want to do is with this yarn that I bought. You know, it's in my queue.
Oak
Sorry,
flower?
folks. No,
Oak something.
I think so. So why don't you tell them where we were and what we were doing?
We were at the Indiebro Yarn Crawl 2016
That was on Saturday.
on Saturday.
And what were we doing there?
We were at the pop-up market.
Sugar Maple. That's the name of it.
Well, that's a tree. I was saying oak thing. Oak is a tree. I think
Okay.
that's a tree.
A sugar maple, I think it is a tree. It's the sister pattern to Poison Oak. That would scare me. I don't think I want to make Poison Oak.
It's probably more the color of the yarn than
The Poison Oak is stripes. The sugar maple is gradient.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, go right ahead with where we were.
I already told them we were at the pop-up market vending
Mm-hmm.
Java Pearl Designs.
And we had fun,
Yes.
even though we were in a small room.
Mm-hmm. downstairs, down steep stairs, that I had to carry the very heavy suitcase of samples and projects down.
You mean the suitcase of disembodied feet?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the lady who came by and she was like, I'm still totally creeped out by these disembodied feet?
No. Yeah. That's a normal thing when you're in a knitter household.
And then I proceeded to tell her the story about having them in the suitcase and somebody accusing us of being Dexter.
And our disembodied torso.
Yes, we do have a Oh, that's right. We had the disembodied torso there because we had my coffee date shawl there.
If either of us ever design a hat, we're gonna need a disembodied bust. Although those are more common.
Kirsten had some at her table. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. But before we went to the pop-up market, we stopped by our favorite local yarn store,
Ginger Twist Studio.
Yes, and I had been in there earlier in the week because I designed the sock pattern for the Indie Yarn Crawl, the Heart of Midlothian Socks.
And I knit it.
Yes, you did. And thank you to everybody who purchased it.
Yay.
I'm glad y'all are enjoying it.
Now make it.
Yeah, that'd be fabulous. But when I was in there earlier in the week, she was scheming up some yarn that she had dyed to sell, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And she told me and everything, and I took a picture and brought it home to show you, to see if you would think it would work for what I was wanting to do, and you thought yes, so we stopped by to pick it up. This yarn
is really soft.
This is Ginger's hand-dyed Luscious 4-ply in the I'm a Barbie Girl colorway. And it's 70% British BFL, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. 100 grams, 400 meters, 437 yards. Okay, so let me see it. Don't drool on my yarn.
My mouth is closed.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to use this beautiful skein of yarn up here. It's a gradient. It starts with yellow and goes into kind of a peachy orange out into a pale pink. With this...
It's Bylum Slicka, if you're wondering.
Yes. To make Karina Spencer's Sugar Maple for this year's Nanny Swimmo National Knit a Sweater in a Month, which is in November.
Since it's short sleeve, will it be in...
I'm going to probably lengthen the sweater because...
It's already kind of long.
But I like it a little bit longer, and I might make the sleeves just a smidge longer. But even if I don't get the 50,000 stitches, I'm in it just because I want to knit a sweater in a month. I don't ever take... I haven't, in the recent years, tried to win a prize. In fact, they accidentally gave me a prize last year, and I had them draw a new winner. So yeah, so I'll be gradiating from the yellow into the peachy orange to the light pink into this. Because really I needed like about 10 meters of the third skein.
You can make something nice.
So that's why I'm thinking that I might lengthen the sleeves and or lengthen the top just a little bit because I like to have things a little longer. So yeah, so we stopped at Ginger Twist Studio and picked these up, and they're amazing. And I had originally thought I would knit my Archiform by Kirsten Bettigan for Nanny Swimmo, but then realized I'll be in London for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I don't want to take 17 skeins of yarn with me. 4 skeins of yarn is a much easier possible thing to do. So that. Okay, I need to take a sip of coffee so I can talk to you. Just in case you're wondering, we time traveled and we're recording this after we recorded other segments, which we'll talk about in a later segment, which is why my voice sounds a little better because I did tea and honey and lemon and now I'm drinking coffee to kind of help my throat. So the next thing I picked up was this, and I got this at the pop-up market. This is Felius Yarns. This is her Explorer base. It's 80% merino, 20%... Nope, that's the base. 80% merino, 20% nylon, and the colorway is Saint Expedite. Expedite. I looked it up. Explorer is the base. I already put it in my stash.
I was gonna look at the colorway.
None of there was only like 10 skeins, and none of them had a colorway listed.
I mean, I was gonna look at the person.
Oh.
Like, if it is a person.
Oh, she's on Etsy.
You keep talking.
Okay. So this is 100 grams, 400 yards, 365 meters of a 4-ply fingering. And, well, see, all her stuff is travel themed.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking this has something to do with...
Yeah, that makes sense. Saint Expedite. I'm assuming the without the E is another way of spelling it, yeah.
So all of her yarns have a travel theme. But the reason I purchased this was I'm going to knit socks for the hubs out of this. He loves red. Red is his favorite color. And then I'm going to use the leftovers to make socks for me using this peppermint mocha yarn right here from my book by Pandia's Jewels, with this as the toes, heels, and cuffs, and they're going to be Christmas socks.
I have a skein of West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas yarn. I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
Christmas.
I knit that last year.
Merry Christmas.
So, yay, I'm very excited about this.
I'm excited for Christmas.
We have a long ways to go. So Sylvie is the dyer. Sylvie Labellevy. And I'm very excited to try her yarn. That will probably be anniversary socks for the hubs. You know, I got really confused yesterday. I know this is really random. I was on Facebook, and some friends of ours were celebrating their wedding anniversary, and they got married in the summer before the hubs and I got married in September, and they were like that. They were celebrating their 19th anniversary. And I was like, wait, I thought it was only 18 this year. No, we've been married 18 years already. It's 19 years this year. I was very confused.
I turned 17 this year.
I know. Which should have said to me, because our second anniversary was just like 3.5 weeks before you were born. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to show them first before we unroll it. Hold on. The next thing I got up at the pop-up market, I'm taking the price tag off of it, because no judgment here, right? Thank you. Is from Rusty Ferret. This is the yarn dyeing portion of Fluff Yarns, which is a yarn shop in Dundee, and the owner and dyer is the lovely Leona.
Yes.
And this...
Alliterated.
I did, the lovely Leona. This is her quadruple 4-ply. And the colorway is Ferret Face. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 400 meters, 100 grams, sock blank. Do you see the ferret face on it? That's why the colorway is Ferret Face. I have not unrolled it yet, but I will unroll it now.
Unroll it.
I'm getting there. Sorry, it's held together with stitch markers. Oh, there's little ones. I didn't know there was more than one. I thought there was just one. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and look, there's a pink stitch marker. Oh, it's holding the start. So there's a ferret. There's a baby ferret. There's another baby ferret. Another baby ferret. And the big ferret again. Look at those colors. Oh, this is even hotter pink than what you're seeing. Look at it compared to my hair.
Oh my gosh.
And yellow with pops of green. And then there's the kind of the blue and the teal. Oh, this is going to be fabulous. Fabulous. I'll do it in a minute. So yeah, I got that from Leona. She had a table at the pop-up market, Rusty Ferret. I think she has a little bit left in her online shop of those. They were something new. The next thing I got was by somebody who I had never heard of before, but I was very excited to meet her. Her business is called Hand Drawn Yarn. She's on Etsy. And she makes, among other things, these adorable necklaces with little skeins of yarn in the little vials. And so I had to get a pink yarn with polka dots. And it's a fun little necklace. I'm dropping it. I was going to put it on. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. So it's a fun little vial of yarn. I thought it would be fun for shows and stuff. So make sure and check her out. Links to all of these people are in the show notes in case you want to get something of your very own. She had stitch markers and earrings and brooches. Yeah. But I have about 37 pairs of knitting earrings. Not really that many, but I have a lot. I didn't need any more earrings. The next thing people we saw was Edinburgh Yarn Festival. We get some little badges from them. They had a fun photo booth that you and I both did. Not together, separately, because one of us was at the table in the basement selling books and patterns. And they were also selling kits with yarn that they had dyed. I can't remember whose it is. I believe it's Mika who had Yarn Pony yarn, which was a hand dye, like before we moved here. And so they dyed some recently, and we're selling some kits with the yarn, with a pattern that they designed that was in the, the magazine that they had at UIF. So they were selling that, but then they were also giving away these fun things. So they gave us a pattern for the XO hat. It's a color work hat, but they also had these adorable cards printed up that are X's and O's.
That's what you're supposed to look at to do the color work.
Yeah, it is. But they're also like cards, greeting cards.
Yeah. So you have to knit the hat first and then give away the card.
Is one of these yours or? Okay, so mine is...
Well, this is the one I got, but mine is in my room.
Oh, okay. Because they gave us extras. So these 4...
I thought it said okay at first. I'm like...
No.
Okay.
X's and O's. So they gave us 4 extra ones that we'll put in the prize giveaway bin, which we just organized. It's now in a nice pink sparkly box, because pink sparkly, why not? So yeah, we'll put some of those in the giveaway box to be given away for something at some point. And the final person we saw that we purchased from was Leslie Taylor, who she's local to here, not Edinburgh, but local. And she does like stitch markers and stuff like that. But she gave me a set of pink of the safety pin stitch markers. But I also purchased from her this adorable little sheep stitch marker, but I put it on the zipper pull of my I craft so hard I sweat glitter bag. So I felt that was appropriate. So yeah. So that was Edinburgh Yarn Festival, Edinburgh Yarn Girl. I was just talking about Edinburgh Yarn Festival, that's why. There were some other people there as well. I bought a hat pattern from Kirsten Bedigan for this fun short row hat that I need to check. I'm thinking this handspun right here might work for it. It's a really cool hat. If not, I'll have to find some yarn. I'll just have to get some. I know. It's such a sacrifice. Somebody has to do it. And I also got this fun crocheted bath poof that Kirsten's mom had crocheted up and they were selling. It's in the shower because I've been using it. Sorry. So Kirsten was there. There was a lady that had hand spun yarn. There was a couple other small yarn producers. Yeah, it was a good. It was a full room, and we didn't end up staying for the after party. We were kind of pooped, and my voice had gone like about 2 hours into Puppet Market, which made things fun. So, but yeah, it was a fun time, and it was good to see y'all that came out. Thanks for coming by. We enjoyed seeing you. I think that's everything I'm going to say about that. So why don't you tell us about your yummy for this week, which is an actual yummy.
Yes, it's coffee. So, when Starbucks had it, my favorite drink they had was the Honey Blossom Macchiato,
I'm just rolling up my sock like
which tasted really good, but now they don't have it anymore.
it was one of the limited edition things.
I want them to get it back. But I decided that I needed to make my own. So, like, looking up recipes for other macchiatos, I sort of cobbled together my own for Honey Blossom. So I, like, put milk in a jar and honey in that jar, and then put the lid on it and shake it up. And then you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then you pour it in here with the frothy milk that you've just made because you've shaken it up and microwaved it. And it's delicious.
Yay.
It's delicious.
My sock tried to unroll itself. So you homemade honey blossom macchiato. So this is not like just one recipe. You like cobbled things together, so there's not like a link we could send people to.
No.
If you really want to know, email or Ravelry message you and you'll tell them how to make it.
Yeah. All you need is
Love.
All you need is coffee, honey, milk, and like 1 cube of sugar if you want really sweet coffee, which is what I did.
Okay.
But you don't have to do sugar because the honey makes it pretty sweet already.
Yeah.
But I like extra sweet coffee.
I hear ya. That's not what I'm drinking though. I'm still drinking my whole 30 coffee.
I mean, this is like natural stuff. It's just honey and like 1 cube of Damara sugar, which is natural sugar. So like, it's natural sugar.
I was going to tell you, I forgot to tell you the other day, when I went to Starbucks, they now have mini Frappuccinos.
How much are they?
They're just like a step down from the talls price. Yeah, so if you wanted to have a Frappuccino but not have a massive, huge, lots of calorie one, you could get a mini one and get the taste.
Oh, I want another chocolate marshmallow one.
Yeah?
It tasted really good. I like coffee.
She is my daughter. We didn't put anything in the show notes about the Tony Awards.
Oh.
We did watch some of the things. Hamilton won how many? Do you know?
I don't.
11 out of 16 nominations. Of course, like, I think 3 of those nominations were for the same award. Like the leading actor, I think they had 3 nominations. But we watched the Hamilton did a thing with James Corden where it was, instead of it was Alexander Hamilton, it was James Corden. Yeah. And we watched like the opening number and I'm trying to think what else. There was a few that we watched, but they're on YouTube. Just Google or just search 2016 Tony Awards. We didn't get to see the whole thing. I really want to watch the whole thing. Oh, we watched Lin-Manuel's acceptance speech. Love is love is love is love is love. All right, so is there any other yummies besides before we get to our normal stuff? I feel like we've been talking forever because we have. Sorry.
21 minutes.
So up next is hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. Why don't you tell them about it?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you just take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. So what are we, this month's theme is summertime and the living is easy, just like for our cow, plus some knitting stuff thrown in. So today is whip, which is work in progress. So I need to take a picture of a whip. What are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
All right, here come the photos.
And those are our favorite pictures.
And it's never too late.
To participate, you can... What? Isn't that what you say? It's never too late to participate.
That's not what I say. I say it's never too late to join in.
But that rhymes.
I know, and it might have to be the title of the episode.
It's never too late to participate. You can just take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it on Instagram with the hashtag GGKCraftyPad, because that's how we find the pictures.
Yes.
If you don't hashtag it, then we can't find it.
Yes, and you didn't tell them about that we're cheater friendly. They can interpret the prompt as however they want to.
Yes.
So, all right. Well,
although technically that's not cheater friendly because it's not really cheating.
You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's talk about upcoming events.
Okay, so the Yarnporium in London is on Saturday the 5th and Sunday the 6th of November. And we're excited for that. And we encourage you to take a week and a half long holiday and go to the Yarnporium and then spend a few days doing other stuff in London and then come down to Farnham, which is about 50 miles southwest of London, to the Geeky Puffin Palooza, which is Thursday the 10th through Sunday the 13th of November, and it's going to be lots of fun. In fact, we have something new about the Geeky Puffin Palooza to tell you.
Yes.
Yay!
So, we have paired up with the lovely Rachel and Allie from Yarn in the City, who are hosting the Yarnporium. And Rachel is teaching at the Geeky Puffin Palooza and vending at the vendor market. We've teamed up with them to present the Geeky Puffin Palooza London Mini Yarn Crawl with Yarn in the City. So this is an optional thing. It'll be an add-on for retreat participants. So why don't you tell them about this part a little bit? I mean, you don't have to tell them the exact times, but how it's going to work.
So this is how it will work. We're going to check out the vendor market in the morning, and then the yarn crawl participants will walk over to the Farnham rail station and
Around 11:45.
yes,
To catch the train.
And then catch the train and then go there.
Yes.
Without forgetting your knitting.
Yes. So there are 3 options, and when you sign up, you need to rank which of the routes you want in order.
And these are the routes available. London Luxury, which is the shops of Loop, Liberty, and Patricia Roberts.
Yes.
And in the show notes, there's a link where you can read all about it.
Yes.
All about each one. Option 2 is Central London, which are the shops The Village Haberdashery, Loop, and I Knit London. And option 3 are the East End makers, so Wild and Woolly, Knit with Attitude, and I Knit London.
So the Yarn in the City ladies are the perfect pairing for this because they are the hosts of the Great London Yarn Crawl and also the authors of the London Craft Guide, which we reviewed a few weeks ago, that had information about all the 30 craft shops in London. Mm-hmm. So they're the perfect match for this. So, like I said, this is going to be an optional add-on. So the cost to do this is going to be £16. You will need to, though, arrange your own rail tickets from Farnham to London Waterloo and back. And you'll also need either an Oyster or travel card for the buses and potentially the tube. I can't remember if any of the connections are on the tube or if they're all buses.
I think there might be some on the tube.
But you can use the Oyster card.
Yes, Oyster card is good for everything
It's
in London.
magical. So tell them these 2 things.
Okay, because the yarn crawl is on public transport, there may not always be step-free access, so for people with mobility issues, we would recommend having a buddy that you can yarn crawl with to assist you.
Yes.
And any food, drinks, or yarny purchases at any of the shops, shops on the mini yarn crawl are also your own responsibility. But there is no obligation to purchase anything in any of the shops on the mini yarn crawl. I think you were getting your words confused.
I didn't type this part.
Oh.
Allie did. But I think it could be either stops or shops. Because in some of the descriptions, she talks about that there's also like else near to one of the yarn shops, there's like a marketplace where you can get food from like food vendors and stuff. So I think maybe that's why she used stops instead of shops.
And in the show notes, in the link at the bottom of the page you will be looking at, there is the form where you can sign up if you want to do that. But you can only sign up for it, I think, yes, definitely, if you are already a retreat attendee. So if you're not a retreat attendee, you should sign up for the retreat. And then if you want to, you can sign up for the optional mini yarn crawl.
And where do they go to sign up?
You can either go to our show notes and click on the link there, or you can go to geekypuffinknitpalooza.com.
Yes. And like I said, this is an optional add-on. The vendor market at the retreat will still be open in the afternoon for the public and for any attendees that want to continue shopping. And the yarn, if you do go on the yarn crawl, you will get back in time for the Saturday night events. You will just have to get like takeaway food or whatever to take on the train to eat on your way back so that you have time enough to eat before the evening's events. So we're super excited to be partnering with Yarn in the City to offer this. And I know that last year the yarn crawl here in Edinburgh was one of the most popular parts of the retreat. Mm-hmm. So we're really glad that we're going to be able to offer this in a slightly different manner. But we think that you'll enjoy it. So we hope you'll sign up for that. I think that's all the events for now. So we should move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading and watching.
Yes, so what are we reading?
So the Summer of Austen is still going on, so we are reading Pride and Prejudice, both of us.
Have you read today's?
No.
It's only 2 chapters today, though.
Oh, yeah.
So I was able to do it. Actually, I read it while you were taking your shower earlier.
I don't like Wickham.
And Lydia is having major issues. So we're going to be wrapping this up before the next podcast, right? What is today?
The 15th?
Yeah, so we'll be reading Persuasion already by the time we record again.
I haven't read Persuasion.
I can't remember if I have or not. I know I had read Pride and Prejudice and Emma and Sense and Sensibility, but I don't remember if I've read the other 3.
I've read Pride and Prejudice and Emma and Sense and Sensibility and Mansfield Park. Not Northanger Abbey and Persuasion.
Okay.
Although I don't really remember what happened in Mansfield Park.
Yeah. Things we'll find out as the Summer of Austen continues. Are you reading anything else?
No.
Okay. I'm still reading Out of the House of Bread by Preston Yancey. And I've told y'all about that one before. And then some of the fiction I have read was the Stormy Day Mysteries by Angela Pepper. And it was actually suggested to me by one of y'all, and I can't remember who now. I'm sorry, forgive me. Because the second book in the series is called Death of a Crafty Knitter. It's a cozy mystery series, and it is available on Kindle Unlimited. So I read Death of a Dapper Snowman, Death of a Crafty Knitter, Death of a Batty Genius, and Death of a Modern King.
How did the crafty knitter die?
That's a good question. I've read too much stuff.
Impaled with their own needle?
No. I can't even remember. I've read too many other things since then. I don't remember. You'll have to read it and find out. And yeah, that's all the reading I'm going to talk about. Because I've read some not so great books this week. Not like that they're like inappropriate content to talk about, but that they were just not great books. So now let's talk about what we're watching.
Okay, so I finished watching the March Family Letters, which is like a little YouTube web series based on Little Women.
Yes.
Okay, so it was only 50 videos long, and those 50 videos are like... Little Women was originally published in 2 books, Little Women and Good Wives, and the first 50 videos are only the Little Women section. But they haven't done a second part to it.
Are they planning to?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I told you sometime this week that once we finish Summer of Austen, I'll reread Little Women and then I'll watch it. You can watch it together if you want to again.
Yeah. So, Beth.
Don't tell me. I don't remember what happens. I've read it before, but I don't remember what happens. I'm sorry. Apparently something not good. Alright, what else are we watching?
We finished watching season 6 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So, yeah, so I just love how we have given a spoiler warning.
Yes.
So I just love how alive Jadzia Dax is.
Jadzia died in the last episode.
I just love how alive she is.
Damn,
and how she and Worf
not
had a little Klingon troll baby. That's adorable.
She is
like
Dammy is just not
alive.
willing to accept what has happened.
She's alive.
And how's their Isri?
Very carefully.
Jadzia and poor Worf. Oh. And Captain Sisko is back on Earth. It's a very difficult time for everyone. What else are we watching?
We finished watching season 4 of Star Trek Voyager, and now we're rewatching season 5.
That episode last night with the 29th Century Borg. Wow.
That sounds like the name of a song.
I'm a 29th Century Borg. Could be a country song.
What? No!
About how he had to sacrifice himself in order to save Seven and the rest of the Voyager crew.
What?
He did.
Why would you write a country song about that?
Well, because there's that joke about how some country songs are written about where the guy loses his girl and his house and his dog and his truck. And then if you listen to
Ranked in order of importance.
And then if you listen to it backwards, he gets it all back.
Huh? What?
I don't know if that's the order that it went in. That was just like me rambling. It was things off.
His girl and his house and his dog and his truck.
I don't know if those are actually the things, but yeah, essentially. How did we get to this point?
What are you watching?
I am watching season 4 of Arrow, and I totally texted Dammy yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, 7 of 9 is in Arrow. She was. They brought back to life Laurel's sister, Sarah.
I thought she was alive.
She was dead.
What?
She got killed last season. And they put her in the Lazarus pit and brought her back to life. Lazarus pit. That's
Oh,
how they
what?
brought. That's how they brought back Thea too.
What?
Yeah. And you and I are watching season 2 of How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this show is like insane. My husband and I are watching season 2 of The Flash. The Reverse Flash just came back last night after you went to bed.
So,
And I think
does Reverse Flash like run really fast but backwards?
No, Reverse Flash is the one that killed Barry's mother.
I thought Barry said he got that guy.
But this guy's from Earth 2.
Oh.
Not Earth, TOO, Earth 2, number 2, because it's a second Earth.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know who Wally West is?
He's the, what's his name, son.
Yeah, but he's also the Flash.
What?
Yeah. Wally West is another Flash. There are lots of Flashes. Just like there are lots of Batmen and lots of Robins.
Okay. So does like Barry die and he takes over?
I don't think so. And lots of Captain Americas. Captains America.
Coles to sack.
No.
Hubs and I are also watching season 7, which is the final season of Rizzoli and Isles. Frankie and Nina got together finally.
Okay.
And the episode we watched last night was about zombies. There was a murder at a zombie convention.
Oh. Was it a zombie?
Yes.
Oh.
Somebody dressed as a zombie. He and I are also watching the final season, season 5 of Person of Interest. And we found out that there are former numbers, which is people they have saved, working with the machine. And they saved our team who was saving POTUS, the President of the United States. So our team
Our house.
saved these people, and then these people are now a team working with the machine, and they saved our team.
What about the A team?
They're off visiting the B team. And then I'm watching season 2 of Outlander, which is not safe for children. Dammy does not read or watch this. I don't recommend it for your children. Okay. So this was the episode about the battle at Preston Pans, and Angus died. And I knew he died, and I had just not realized it was time for that to happen. And I was watching in Starbucks, and I was crying.
Stop watching in Starbucks.
And Dougal is bloodthirsty, and Fergus killed a man.
Who's Dougal?
Dougal is Jamie's uncle.
Who's Fergus?
Fergus is the little boy that Jamie rescued. He was the daughter of a prostitute. And Jamie has taken him under his wing to save him. He's like young. He's like 9, 10, 11.
Why did he kill a man?
There was a war. It's the war. And he was in the middle of everything, and
Why didn't they take him out of the way?
Well, Claire had told him he couldn't go. He had to stay back with her at the hospital where they were going to deal with the wounded. But he snuck out and went, but he hid with other people who weren't Jamie and his people, and so they didn't know he was there, and he had to kill a guy to save himself.
Okay.
And that's everything we've watched this week. I think that's enough. I mean, there were some very significant things that happened this week. All right, well, we have some other stuff to talk about. We're in a time travel again, and we'll be back. And now it's time for the Summertime and the living is easy.
Cal.
So are you gonna tell them everything?
Oh,
Or am I gonna attempt to tell them everything?
Okay, you'll have to guide me through it. So this cal runs from the 1st of June to the 31st of August, and it is for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us relates to summer. Summertime. And you can do that by your project's color, colorway name, purpose, pattern name, design element, basically every other thing I've been saying for the past 100 or so episodes in our seasonal cals. Okay, but no whips are allowed. You have to have started your project June 1st or later and have finished it by the 31st of August.
Yes.
So, and you can poly dip in other cals as long as it fits in with their rules.
Yes, like stash dash. Or around your neck cowl.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay. And we have lots of wonderful prizes that are on the screen right now. Look at them. They're all so beautiful.
And where should they how can they find out more info?
If you want to see exactly, specifically what these prizes are, you can go to our show notes, which are available at geekygirlsknit.com.
Or tune into the
first podcast of each month,
where we talk about them in detail.
So each project you finish and post counts as one entry into the cal. It says giveaway.
Into the giveaways.
Into the cal, and you must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. If you're not a member of the group but you post anyway, the things you post won't count. So just go to the group page and hit join this group up in the upper right hand corner. Staples. That was easy.
Tag.
Oh, if you want to tag your projects or on Instagram or something, the hashtag is GGKSummertime16. And the thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn on the next podcast after that. And if you are a winner, you have 30 days to claim your prize. Or you forfeit it. And there's a chatter thread in the Ravelry group.
So, sorry. So, Dammy, why don't you now tell us who finished projects in the last week?
Okay. Army Tink 08 times 2, Asik Tack, Betsy Q times 2, Bendy J, DG White times 3, Hazy Summers, Jill Serenity, Kana Soup, KY Spinner, Little Angel SG2, I mistyped that, Looney Hiker, Lupin Owns Jacob, Maria Wilhelmina, Moogle Knits, Muzzer Z, Mystery Sewer times 5, Knittin' Mama 3 times 3, Rue CMC, BVFB, Vegan Jilly, and Yarny Mom.
Great job, everybody. So now what are you going to tell them?
It's never too late to participate.
Keep working on your projects.
Keep working on your projects.
Because we still have over 2 months to go.
Yes.
Yes. All right, well, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of the show where you ask us things and we answer them.
Although this week it should be Ask the Geeky Girl, because you're going to ask it and answer it.
Yeah, so Sarah, who is yarn enthusiast from Washington, says, okay, I have one more question for you. I don't remember what your other question was, although I probably answered it.
Yes, I don't remember either, but
Thank you. I would like to really try my hand at both lace and cables, not necessarily in the same project. Do you have some suggestions for beginner patterns? I really enjoy working on a shawl, so I would love to hear what shawls you might recommend that incorporate lace and or cables. Thanks for your help, and thanks for such a fun podcast. No, thank you for watching. Okay.
So we chose some things that are shawls, but we also chose some things to tell you about that have good tutorials for either lace or cables.
Mm-hmm. So,
links to all this is in the show notes.
Yes, and all of these except 2 are Tin Can Knits patterns.
Because we love some Tin Can Knits, and they have fabulous tutorials to help you learn new things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first one is the Gothic Lace Cowl by Tin Can Knits. In case you couldn't tell by the title, it includes lace and a tutorial on the lace.
I've knit that one. And it's a really fun one. It has lots of buttons on it. And you can button the cowl around your neck, and you can like unbutton part of it to give it a different shape. It's a really fun one.
Okay. Next one is the Caramel Slouch by Tin Can Knits. It's a hat. I was going to say that. It has cables and lace. And then we have the Drift Shawl by Tin Can Knits. It has cables. Then we have the Lodestar Stole by Tin Can Knits, which has lace, which kind of isn't a shawl, but kind of also is.
Yeah.
You can like wear it in the same way you wear a shawl.
Yes.
Then we have the 3-color Cashmere Shawl by Hoki Locatelli, which is a shawl with lace and stripes and texture.
That one's in my queue to knit.
I think I have the cowl and the shawl in my queue.
Yeah.
And then we have the Marin Shawl by Isolde Teague with cables, and it includes tutorials, including a tutorial on how to cable without a cable needle.
Yes.
Which is very useful if you get annoyed with a cable needle.
Yeah. I can do it when there's like 4 or less stitches, but if you go any more than that, it's really hard to do it without a cable needle, because you're essentially taking the stitches off your needle and holding them while you move the other stitches so that you can rearrange them. So like if you get more than about 4 or so stitches, it can get wonky.
So there are suggestions for patterns. I haven't knit any of these. And you've knit one of these.
Yes, but I've knit quite a few of Tin Can Knit stuff, and so I can recommend their stuff without any reservation.
We just used the Ravelry search design elements.
That's what I was going to say. So Ravelry has made the pattern search and other searches on their site really helpful. So you can go in, really helpful to narrow...
Really helpful.
To narrow down things. So for example, if you go into searching the patterns and choose that you want to do an advanced search, you can then search for like shawls under the accessories category. So go to neck and torso and go to shawls. And then you can go to the attributes and choose the fabric
Oh yeah.
characteristics. Right there. And then you can choose lace or cables or brioche or baubles or reversible or mesh or whatever. And it will narrow it down.
For example, there are 1,032 matches for knitted shawls that include both lace and cables.
And then you could narrow it down even further by like...
Free patterns or...
I want to do it on fingering weight. And I want it to be a Ravelry downloadable pattern. And that takes us down to...
336.
And you could, you can go even further. You could say...
Hey, that one's named after Hollywood.
Which one?
Justina Lorkowska.
I've got something of hers in my queue. And then you could go, okay, well, I want to do one that is around 1,000 yards of yarn. And that will narrow you down to only 51. And you could then narrow it down further by, let's see. Oh, pattern instructions. That's a good one. If you wanted one that has a video tutorial in it, that narrows you down to 2 patterns.
Both by the same designer.
So using the advanced
Those
search...
are enormous.
Yeah, they are. Using the advanced search...
is awesome.
Capabilities on Ravelry can really help you narrow down things. You can also make it search for patterns that are already in your library, which I have a gazillion of them. So sometimes I do that because I'm like, oh, let me see if I can knit something that's already in my library. So yeah, so thank you so much to Sarah for that question. We hope it was helpful. And what should they do if they have a question?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
All right, well, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and record Yummies. So we're going to time travel and do Yummies and what we're reading and watching, and then we'll close out the podcast. Hopefully, tea will help my throat a little bit, and I'll be able to talk some more. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. we made it through our time traveling.
Yeah.
And we're at the end of the show. Thanks for putting up with my really froggy voice. I hope it wasn't too annoying. I wanted to mention again the Gilmore Girls sock kits. Socks kit. Gilmore Girls socks kit. But there's a lot of them.
You just called it sock kit.
Anyway. That I'm doing with Boga from Knitting in France and Sam from Knit Run Dig Project Bags. It went up for pre-order on Sunday. And as of the time when we're recording this, which is on Wednesday the 15th at almost 4 p.m. British summertime, there are 3 kits left.
3.
So
go get it.
If you're watching this and have not pre-ordered one and want one, go to
JavaPearlDesigns.com
to see if there are any left. I can't guarantee there will be any between the time we record this and the time this goes live tomorrow.
And look on the About page, because I'm there now. Yay.
Yep. Do we have any other things besides our normal stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay, just a reminder about the 52 Weeks of Charity Cal. This is an ongoing year-long Cal. All the details are in the Ravelry group, and we talk about it in detail on the second podcast of every month, which was last episode. Mm-hmm. So, a huge thank you. We love you guys to all of our Patreon sponsors. It's a great way to support your favorite artists, whether they're podcasters or painters or drawers or singers or musicians or whatever. And it is a pledge system where you pledge a certain amount every month, and there are rewards based on the level. So if you would like to find out more, you
can go to patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
And all the details are there. If you'd like to make just a one-time donation to the podcast, you can go to our website,
geekygirlsknit.com.
And what are they looking for?
The PayPal button in the sidebar.
And we're also Amazon.com and .co.uk affiliates. So if you go to our website,
geekygirlsknit.com,
and click on the links there and then do your Amazon shopping, Amazon gives us a little money back based on what you purchase. And that money is used for primarily shipping prizes, which that's what I did this week on Monday. I shipped out prizes. That was a lot of money. It was a lot. So thanks to those of you who go to our website first before you shop on Amazon. I think that's everything. Why don't you tell them where they can find us online in case they don't know by now?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are their links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we'll tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Hopefully, by next week's episode, I will have my voice completely back. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Happy knitting. Bye.
Bye. And now it's time for a ravishing round of costume theater from the Lizzie Bennet Diaries without costume, because we don't have costumes.
No, and I don't remember what I say first about.
Oh, so does this mean you need someone else to do your videos for you? Because I totes got your back, sis.
Of course you can, because your videos are always way better than mine. 4-syllable word, dorky literary reference, snarky comment, mother freak out.
Perv! It's gonna be totes adorbs and get you so many hits. Ow! What?
That's from episode 69 of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. Have a good week. Bye.